Have you ever thought about how everything in nature is connected? Or how our daily actions impact the environment around us? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of ecosystems and the delicate balance that keeps our planet thriving. Our environment is a complex and dynamic system that supports all living beings. It consists of physical, chemical, and biotic factors that interact to create a delicate balance in nature. So, what is the environment? It includes our physical surroundings like air, water bodies, soil, and all the organisms such as plants, animals, human beings, and microorganisms like bacteria and fungi called decomposers. Let's explore the concept of an ecosystem, which is a web of life. An ecosystem consists of both living biotic and non living abiotic components such as plants, animals, temperature, rainfall, and soil. All living things interact with each other and their surroundings, creating a delicate balance in nature. Now, there are different types of ecosystems. Natural ecosystems exist independently in nature, such as forests, lakes, and oceans. On the other hand, artificial ecosystems are created by humans, including crop fields, aquariums, and gardens. When we talk about ecosystems, we can break them down into components. First, we have abiotic components, which are non living components like air, water, land, light, and temperature. Then we have biotic components, which are the living components like plants, animals, bacteria, and fungi. In every ecosystem, there are producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers, green plants and algae, create their own food through photosynthesis. Consumers are animals that depend on producers for food, and they can be further divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. Lastly, decomposers are organisms that break down dead plants and animals, such as bacteria and fungi. Next, let's discuss food chains. A food chain shows energy flow in an ecosystem, starting with producers, plants, followed by herbivores, small carnivores, and large carnivores. For example, trees and flowers serve as producers, while deer and flies are herbivores, and lions and eagles are large carnivores. Now, what about the different trophic levels in a food chain? Producers make their own food using sunlight. Primary consumers are herbivores that eat plants for energy. Secondary consumers are small carnivores that eat herbivores, while tertiary consumers are large carnivores that eat smaller carnivores. Lastly, decomposers like fungi and bacteria break down dead plants and animals. A trophic level represents each step in a food chain where energy transfer occurs. Producers form the first level, followed by primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. It's important to note that energy transfer decreases by 90% at each level, leaving only 10% for the next, as per the 10% law. Green plants capture about 1% of solar energy and store it as food during photosynthesis. Energy flow in ecosystems is unidirectional, meaning it flows in one direction, from the sun to producers, consumers, and decomposers. However, energy decreases at each trophic level due to energy loss as heat and metabolic waste. A food web is a network of interconnected food chains showing how energy flows through an ecosystem. It illustrates multiple feeding relationships between producers, consumers, and decomposers. Now, let's talk about biomodification. Harmful chemicals like pesticides enter the food chain through crops and accumulate at each trophic level, as they are non-biodegradable. This leads to their highest concentration in humans, the top level consumers, a phenomenon known as biological magnification. Human impact on the environment is significant. For instance, DDT concentration can increase by 10 million times in fish eating birds. Pollution arises from human activities like industrial waste and deforestation. Improper waste disposal leads to environmental problems, as many synthetic materials are not biodegradable. Ozone depletion occurs due to chemicals like CFCs that have damaged the ozone layer, which protects us from harmful UV radiation. Speaking of ozone depletion, ozone, O3, is a molecule made of 3 oxygen atoms, unlike O2, which is essential for life. While ozone is toxic at ground level, it plays a critical role in the upper atmosphere by shielding Earth from harmful UV radiation, which can cause skin cancer. Ozone is formed when UV radiation splits oxygen molecules, O2, into free oxygen atoms, which then combine to form ozone. We can look at these sets of chemical reactions. UV radiation splits O2 into O plus O, and then those free oxygen atoms combine to form O3. Its depletion, observed since the 1980s, is linked to chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, used in refrigerants and fire extinguishers. Global efforts like the 1987 UNEP agreement have curbed CFC production to protect the ozone layer. In summary, ecosystems are interconnected and every component plays a vital role. Energy flows through ecosystems in a unidirectional and diminishing manner, and our actions have a significant impact on the environment. It's essential for us to act responsibly to protect our planet and its delicate balance. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on Edurev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for class 10.